Hello everyone and welcome to Air and Military Collectibles. So in today's video there's going to be three parts to it. It's not three separate videos, there's going to be three parts to this video. And what we're looking at is we're looking at the impression, the marching out order, the combat order and the small kit of a soldier from the 1st SAS from D-Day up until around August, September, just prior to being brought back to the UK to be refitted for further operations in Northern Europe, or the European campaign. So I will be visiting, or I will be going to 3 shows shortly in the UK. We will be going, sorry about the noise now, there's somebody gone mad with a chainsaw somewhere, so I hope you can hear me. So there will be 2 shows in the UK that I'm going over to. The first one is the Yorkshire Wartime Experience, that I will be there with the Combined Forces Living History Group. And the second one is the Victory Show, that I will be there with the members of Living History UK. So the impression was actually put together for the Victory Show because we will be going over there with a friend of mine called Danny Reese. Danny Reese has an airborne SAS Jeep, so we decided to put our impressions together to go and show the vehicle and stuff like that at the Victory Show. And Danny himself has a great collection and interest in the SAS from pretty much the whole of his life, or the whole of their regimental life. So what are we looking at here in this video, in this part of the video? So what we're looking at in this part of the video is we're looking at their marching out or their working dress type uniform. Now, the SAS at that stage had been brought back to the UK after being in North Africa, and they were completely refitted, brand new people into the unit, brand new people into the regiment. There was talks of what the hell do we do with these type of guys. Paddy Mayne and some of the other originals basically said, look, we are a commando raiding type role, so this is our best, this is what we do best, leave us alone and let us get on with it. So that's what they did. When they came out of North Africa, they were sent back to the UK. They were given more manpower, more equipment, more training and stuff like that before they were sent back into Northern Europe, or D-Day. So we're going to look at the impression first of all that I have here on my head. We're going to start from the head and work down. So the hat, or the beret we're wearing, is the Maroon Beret, the famous Maroon Beret of the SAS, or the airborne I should say at the time. The SAS's famous beret was the tan beret, or the sand coloured beret. Now you do see originals still at this time wearing the sand beret, especially the likes of Paddy Mayne and members of the original L detachment that were just basically stubborn and wouldn't give up their sand berets and kept for the Maroon Beret. So that's the impression that was what we're starting. So we're starting from the end and we're working down. The jacket is the battle dress serge, it's the early pattern jacket. Now Danny Reese kindly gifted me this. And it would have been possible, it would have been worn. When you see pictures of the actual SAS from that time period, they wear whatever they want once they look clean and presentable. The uniforms and stuff like that, swaps and changes and things like that. So we're wearing the battle dress serge. It's fully badged up. So if you look, just look to show you my right hand sleeve because it's reversed on the other side except for issue 1 badge. So you have the first SAS scroll on the shoulder. You have the para wings. Now this is, I'm not happy with this para wings, but it was the only one that I could get at the time to make for the impression. It's slightly more modern than should be there. And my rank stripe. On my chest then, what we decided was if any of us in the group that had previous military experience, we would wear where we have served, or the equivalent of in World War II ribbons. So I have my General Service and I have my Africa star. So this would technically make me an original, one of the originals, or L detachment I suppose, or something like that. But there are other ways, whereas you can see with the original guys, they will wear their wings on their chest, they'll wear their sand berets, they won't wear the Maroon berets and stuff like that. Move down to my waist, I'm wearing just a standard 38 pattern webbing belt. It's not the correct blanco, I need to blanco it again, but just a standard 38 pattern belt for marching out order. And then para pants. Now the para pants I got from SOF. I had to have them heavily tailored. They're still a bit baggy, they still could do with a bit more tailoring, but I'm happy with them, they'll do what they'll do. On my ankles then I have the old style gaiters with the leather strap rather than the canvas strap, and I have original commando boots with the commando sole rather than the hobnail soles. So this is the marching out order, or the working dress type order that you would see the SAS wearing at the time. Sorry, underneath this then I have a civilian type, just open the collar, I have a civilian shirt, round collar shirt. I don't have a shirt at the time period, but this is for correct of the time scale, you do see them wearing pretty much everything and anything underneath their uniforms, or even outside their uniforms. So yeah, so this is the marching out order. The next part now we're going to look at is the combat style, or the combat type uniform that they would wear. So we're up to the next part of the video here now, and what we're looking at is the combat role or the combat dress of the SAS around that time. So just take this prop with a pinch of salt. The SAS would have been armed with M1 carbines, MP40s, M4s, Bren guns, Thompsons, anything they could get their hands on. Especially around that time frame, being behind enemy lines and being a recce type role, they would literally use whatever they could, and they were known for carrying the most amount of firepower that they possibly could. These would have been used in North Africa, and there's nothing to say some of the older guys wouldn't have kept using them. So I'm just going to put this on the ground. So the next thing then is we're going to start at the head again and work down to explain the combat side of it. So we're still wearing the Maroon Beret. Very, very common in photos. You do see them wearing the odd para helmet, but it's mainly berets that they kept wearing. So we have the beret. The jacket we have is the Denison smock, which we replaced the battle dress serge jacket that we were wearing in the last video. Two cargo pockets on top and two on the bottom. And I do have my beaver's tail just hanging loose rather than being worn correctly. We go down to the belt, the 37 pattern belt. On this side I have a map compass, because as a driver gunner, or a compass case I should say, as a driver gunner I would be involved in navigating and stuff like that, so I have my little compass in my pouch. You would see the guys as well also carrying ammunition on their belts, but they kept their belts and they kept their equipment very minimal. I have a bit of war booty here, whereas I have a Hitler dagger on my belt. They also had their own type of knives and stuff like that. This is a common thing you see them wearing with the German flags and German helmets on their jeeps and stuff like that. So a bit of war booty, there's nothing wrong with it. Over here then we have the pistol case. Now this does all need to be blank good. It will be blank good. I do need to blank good all. Over here then we have another prop. We have the 1911, the Colt 1911, which the SAS were famous for using. They preferred automatic pistols, so they would use the 1911 or they would use the Browning automatic pistol, depending on which they could get their hands on, but the 911 is the more popular one you see them with. And that is just in a 37 pattern Webley pistol case that fits. It does fit, if I can get the clip on it. There you go. They do work, and it is what it says on the tin. So then we're back down to the parapants, we're back down to the gaiters, which are the early pattern gaiters because they have the leather strap on them, and the combat boots. So their equipment was very light. They would literally, if they needed extra ammo, oh sorry, I'm just going on the inside. In here I do have a scrim scarf, along with my civilian shirt. But you do see them, if they do need to carry extra ammo, they would literally just shove them inside their Denison smocks, inside their pockets and stuff like that. You do see the odd few of them wearing an extra satchel bag for all the world with ammo and stuff like that in it. So there we go. So this is their impression of, or their combat impression of what they would have worn while driving around in their jeeps in North Africa or in North Europe. What we're going to do next is we're going to look at the small kit that I will be bringing with me. So now we're looking at the small kit. This is the civilian shirt, as you can see I have it on here now, and don't worry, I'd take my modern watch off, and you wouldn't have a jet flying overhead. But so we're going to look at now, this is the small kit that I will be bringing. It will be in my small pack. So I just have these left here again. So you have the Thompson gun again, you have the belt order, brown mug, enamel mug, could use a white one as well if you had one, emergency rations, shaving mirror. In here then it's just a little box. I have spare razor blades and some matches, cap comforter, mess tins, ration pack, which I need to order the assault version and this version again for the show. My paybook that I need to fill in, just a little soft towel. This is not correct, it's, and I IKEA one, but they were issued with white towels. Same thing. Wool jumper, pair of gloves, and my small pack. And then this is all sitting on a rain cape. Now the rain cape isn't exactly correct. It's post-war, but it's what I have, so I'll have to work with it. And then later on down the road we'll eventually change the whole thing. So there you go. So that's a complete look at the impression that I have put together so far for the Victory Show and the Yorkshire Wartime Experience. So if you're at either of those shows, don't be afraid to come and say hello. So if you like what we provide here at Air Military Collectibles, please subscribe, and please tune in for the next video. And as always, if you want to get in contact with the channel, there will be an email at the top of the video description. Thank you.